All right. Hello, everyone. Today is May the 2nd, and that's the official community meeting for Velero. I'm the community lead. My name is Orlen, and welcome everyone to our call today. With that, I'm going to share the link to our community meetings into the chat. So please, if you like, add yourself in there, add your topics, and I'm going to share that thing so we can all take a look what we have for today. I hope everyone can see that. And yeah. All right. I've added a few stuff like the super late blog PR for the 1.11 release. But yeah, that release got me in the middle of the storm of KubeCon. So yeah, sorry. I just managed to put something in. So if you can take a look, please, it would be nice so we can have it out. Yeah, that's on the status of days for myself. Scott, do you want to take the next one?
Yeah, not a bunch for me. I was again, I started the end-to-end testing for the new V2 plugin APIs just before the release, but with KubeCon, and then pulling this other OEDP stuff last week. I haven't really gotten fully into this yet, but I'm hoping to get that done this week. And other than that, PR reviews and all that. But that's pretty much it for me.
Okay. Anyone, any questions on this one? Nope. Okay, then Ansho, you're next.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so just basically, Daniel had pinged on the group as well for this particular issue that I am personally tracking, that we get this for V1.12. So basically, he wanted opinion from Scott and Shubham, I believe. So just calling it out here if you folks can have a look, if you're okay with this.
Yeah, I'll have a look this week, definitely.
Yeah, sure, thank you.
Should I add into the review Shubham as well, or?
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, if both of us, when one of us look at it, hopefully both of us, but someone certainly on our side will look at it this week.
Right. Oh,
thank you.
Yeah, I forgot. I started the new discussion into the GitHub about the new feature requests and stuff. So let's monitor that. And Pradeep, I've added you there so you can monitor in case someone comes up with some bright ideas what we need to add, or if they want to work on something. With that, KubeCon Shanghai and KubeCon North America were announced in the last KubeCon in Amsterdam. And the thing about Shanghai is the folks from Cloud Casa and Red Hat, we all agree that maybe it's a good place on earth that we can maybe meet, all of us, since majority of the VMware folks are from China. Okay, not as close as I wish to be, but at least in the same continent. So anyone who's seeing that visible travel to Shanghai, what do you think? It's in September 25th to 27th, and it's gonna collect pretty much everything that can happen in one go. So it's going to be KubeCon, and it's going to be open source summit, and you name it. So if folks are planning to travel, drop me a line. Wes, do you know from your side?
I'm putting together proposals now and all the details to run it up my chain to get approval.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I mean, we'd love to go. We're not approved yet, but we're hoping to get this worked out for at least some of us on the Red Hat side to come.
Yeah. Do you need visas? I think everyone needs visas there. I'm not sure, but I definitely need visa, so I have to apply for that when I'm back from vacation. Yeah, so we have plenty of time, like June 18th. That's like what's a month and a half, almost 2 months, to put up any CFPs if you want to have any there. We were discussing that with Scott on in KubeCon in Amsterdam, that maybe we can apply with Daniel or some collaboration between VMware and Red Hat again.
Yeah, Yeah, I was talking to Wes yesterday about this. I think it would be great for to have like one proposal, maybe about the new data mover between, say myself and Daniel or whoever is available. So we'll have two maintainers there, from different companies. That would be great. Kind of focusing on the data mover aspect. And then I think Wes had some other ideas for something else that, on our side, we might be able to propose it, and a panel discussion might be great too, where we can get several people from different companies, relating to the project as well.
Okay. So we kind of park this topic for now until we have some clarity on each site.
When are you going to be out, just in terms of coordinating with you on this stuff? You said you're going to be on vacation for a while.
Yeah, I'm going to be out for the next week. So
Okay.
I'll be back
Okay, got it.
on next Friday. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
going to Spain with the kids. So
great.
when I'm back, I think there'll be plenty of time to do that.
Yep, sounds great.
Yeah. And the same goes for the KubeCon in Chicago, end of the year. Again, we have some time to apply. Obviously, it's the same time slot, which is funky, but I think we can either reuse the talks or we can figure out something else.
Yeah, and I don't think on my side I'll be available for that one. But hopefully someone else would, maybe on your side or whatever.
Yeah, I'll try to actually, me and Pradeep, we're gonna try that to see how it goes within VMware with the budget and everything. But most probably, I spoke with Jolene. Do we have Jolene on the call? Not sure.
It's a Labor Day week in China. So.
Oh, they have the whole week labor celebration thing. But yeah, I spoke with him and he was like super enthusiastic about getting all the maintainers from Velero to join the Shanghai event. So yeah, we'll see.
Well, that's great, because that was the one thing I know when we were talking, it was less clear on that. But I mean, if they're going to be going there, that certainly makes it a lot more relevant to get as many of us as possible there to actually have a face-to-face, for, not, if not all the maintainers, at least most of them, and other contributors as well, of course.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not sure how much from the VMware side we can put our bet on we're going or not right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
I get it.
I think that's valid for you as well and for everyone else. But yeah.
If it wasn't just a curveball, if we didn't fly out for KubeCon to Shanghai, would flying directly to Beijing make it easier?
Like, to me, to do like a on-site kind of meetup and then...
Right, exactly. Just a Velero specific, community maintainer meetup that's not part of a larger conference, as kind of a separate thing.
Right.
Yeah.
VeleroCon.
VeleroCon.
We can try on the kind of sidelines of KubeCon, like on the same.
Yeah, I mean, I still think KubeCon would be even better because that's in the context of the larger. But this might be a backup plan. Like if KubeCon doesn't work, if we can't get it, I don't know. Just because again, if we had it in Beijing, then obviously all of the other VMware maintainers would be available because they're already there. So that might be something to consider as well.
Yeah.
And in VMware, the local travel is always kind of much easier. You just need your immediate manager approval. You don't need much approval. So
is that true as well to Shanghai, or would that be considered long distance?
Yeah. Beijing to Shanghai would be local, so they should be no problem, I guess.
Okay.
As long as I think the main problem is the pass, like KubeCon pass itself. So that would be the kind of challenge.
And the advantage there again, if Daniel and I, for example, submitted a talk that got approved, then at least for him, his pass would be free.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you're not a speaker, then there is the fee associated with that.
And regardless of the KubeCon there, Cloud Casa is very interested in meeting up and having a little hack fest the day before KubeCon, which requires no tickets and everyone.
So we might be able to, even if only say some of the maintainers go to KubeCon, but maybe the entire team could meet up the day before, because that would just be travel and not the actual KubeCon, pass associated with it. So just some options to consider as we're trying to go through this, figure out what's the most productive way of getting everyone together and pushing things forward.
And
Yeah, I mean, this is Satya. I don't have a whole lot to add to all the options you guys are talking about, but as an option emerges, I mean, we stay committed to getting a spot the day before the KubeCon for all of us to meet, and work out some logistics on that front from our side.
Satya, you mean like an official thing just in the same week as KubeCon?
I mean, yeah, what we were thinking is, I mean, even if we are all getting together, we still need a hotel conference room for all of us to be together. We still need, you know, a lunch and dinner plans and all of that figured out. So we'll provide the logistical assistance to make that happen and get a venue, food, and all that figured out from our side. I mean, that'd be our contribution to making this happen.
That's
Nice.
awesome. Thanks,
That'd be
Satya.
great.
I'd even pack a lunch.
All right. Okay, that to make at least looks like on everyone's side a little bit more easier to justify the travel, if we have some more formal stuff. All right. Okay, so everyone is driving in their companies, and we can talk again in like 2 weeks or something like that. All right. The next thing, I met with some folks from the Soda Foundation on KubeCon. And for those of you who doesn't know what Soda is, I didn't know as well, but it's like a CNCF kind of foundation under the Linux Foundation. It's about data and mobility and stuff like this. So they're interested in Velero becoming part of the ecosystem, which is not like a member, but it's like listed into the foundation. So can you folks take a look at the Soda Foundation, and if that makes any sense for us to be listed as a member of the ecosystem for the Soda Foundation? We're listed as a member of the ecosystem for the CNCF already, so not sure. I'm just bringing that up because they were like super keen into speaking with us and getting us in. But
Olin, I also had a in-length discussion, so we also probably need to check our OSS team is what
yeah,
policy we have
but
into
still,
that,
it's
but
yeah. It's
first
not
we evaluate,
Mhm.
what everybody thinks.
Yep.
They have kind of, for listing we have to buy some kind of, they have membership fees and all. We have to kind of even consider
That's in case, Pradeep, that's in case you want to be a member.
yeah,
but
I don't know.
they were speaking us, like listing us as a project that is friendly to the ecosystem, which is no string attached. But it's just a topic for the community to take a look at this one, if it makes sense or not. And then on the other side, the big body of VMware have to decide if we want to proceed forward of membership or not. But that's another topic. That's not in discussion right now. So if everyone can take a look at this Soda Foundation, if it makes any interest for you, please drop a line so we can talk about more on this one. Okay. Raghu, you want to take
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, sure. Actually, if you want to click on the link, maybe go ahead. So yesterday I was trying to answer a question from one of the users, the Longhorn snapshots are not being deleted. So I was doing some testing and found that what could be a possible regression, that volume snapshot resources, according to the documentation, even as I remember it, starting from 1.9, Velero cleans up them, deletes the volume snapshots once the backup is done. But it doesn't seem to be happening anymore. So I tested that with 1.11. So it's possible that this is a regression. Just wanted to check if others have any comments.
Well, I mean, some of the volume snapshots that are part of the backup that we create as part of the backup, those are for the CSI plugin, especially in the non-data mover case. We need those at the restore time, because that's the volume snapshot content is how we do the restore. So I think we do have some code that deletes volume snapshots when the backup's deleted.
That is true, but I think as per this comment, as you can see, the volume snapshot resources are cleaned up deleted from the namespace, but the content is supposed to be around and the storage snapshot is supposed to be around. And the reasoning behind this is, by mistake, if you delete your source namespace, you don't want to lose everything, right? So
right. I
that's the
see. Yeah,
reason
not the content, the volume snapshot. Yeah, I guess I'm less clear on that. I don't know, Shubham, if you've seen anything like this.
Yeah, the snapshot should be deleted with the latest code, but the content should be around.
Right, that doesn't seem to be happening. So my guess is there is some regression. So if this is the understanding, then I can take a look and we can provide some fix.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So you're saying 111, it's not deleting the volume snapshot now?
No, even before I tested with 111. I mean, I can easily test with 1.10.
Yep.
It's possible that it's broken at some point.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
one thing we need to be sure. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, the behavior should be like the volume snapshot is deleted when the just before the backup is completed, and the content is the content remains in the cluster, and the policy is updated to retain, I think.
Right, that is what I was about to mention. So there is a small case where, for example, this particular user, I was trying to help the Longhorn snapshot customer, right? So he posted his volume snapshot class, and his deletion policy is delete, which is kind of dangerous, right? So if you delete the volume snapshot, then you would lose everything. So I noticed that Velero doesn't recommend, or probably they recommend, I think the document does mention retain at some point, but maybe it has to be more proactive and has to make sure that it's retained, right? Because delete has kind of dangerous semantics. Anyway, so it seems that you agree that this is kind of a regression.
Yep.
So we'll take further look.
If this is the case, then yeah, it's a regression. Yeah.
Sure. We'll submit a PR then. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Control.
Hey, yeah, I didn't have the links handy, so I just added them with the call ongoing. So there's basically there was this one conversation I was having with Lyndon, Tiger, and I believe Xiang. So it was around the parallelism today. So as of today, the CSI snapshot, right? It is linear in manner. You take one PVC, you take a snapshot, you wait for 10 minutes for it to complete, and similarly you do for n snapshots. And even I realized further in the code, this polling happens twice, once in the CSI plugin and once in the core code. So this takes around 2 into n into 10 minutes for the backup to complete, which is like very, very long in some sense for failure scenarios. So we had a lot of discussion around how we can fix it. And it seems like the overall conclusion is to go through the BIA V2 route for CSI plugin. And I also went through it. The code seems neat enough to implement in the CSI plugin. The reason why I brought it up is, is any of you already picked up the work for it? And if yes, what are the go ahead.
So as far as I know, no one started that work yet, but as I understand it, that's part of the data mover work. That's kind of being done as part of the data mover work. That's part of the data mover design is talking about changing that. So I believe that's supposed to be done as part of 1.12. But I don't think anyone on this call is involved in that particular aspect of it right now.
So if you take a look at the data mover design, right, there Lyndon is not on the call, but he has mentioned that we'll be porting the CSI plugin to BI.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Since that functionality is targeted for 1.12, I think this would be again included as part of that process. And that's kind of a big change. It's not going to happen probably in a 1.11.1 or whatever. So that would be 1.12.
Got it. The reason I'm asking is basically we are trying to see if we need to prioritize this. If we do, we might implement it ourselves. But again, I did not wish to duplicate work if anyone is already doing it right. I
would say if you're interested in that, talk to Lyndon about it. It might be that he can use your help doing that as kind of working in parallel with the other data mover work he's on. They're working on. That might be helpful. But I don't really have any insight on the specifics of when they'd planned on doing that as part of this in the 1.12 process.
Got it. Thanks.
Hey, Anshul, if you could take a look at the design itself, maybe you could get some insight.
Oh yeah.
Lyndon shared the design link to me, and he said it will take some while for now. I didn't.
And I think he already created some epics as well for 112 regarding data mover.
Oh, yeah, I
So
think there's some issues created relating to that as well.
might
That-
be worth taking a look into it. If
I think there may actually be an GitHub issue specific
yep.
to CSI plugin moving to V.2.
Yep.
Got it. I'll just maybe then directly ping Linden if they have any updated ETAs on it, or otherwise I'll see how it can work. With
Yeah, and again, I think was mentioned earlier that I think they're mostly off this week on holiday, but certainly when they get back,
Got it. Thanks. Okay. Cool. That is the first one. The second one is it's a PR specific to the Azure plugin. I'm not sure how many folks in this call have an idea about it, but Venka is already reviewing it. If anyone else wants to help review this PR, like please go ahead. I can walk through this, but I'm not really sure if there's anyone in the audience who will be interested. So this is the other PR. Just a request for review if anyone wants to have a look at it.
I can try to take a look. Maybe could you just give an overview once?
Yeah, I'll give a quick overview. So basically, as of today, the older code that we had, it used to assume that the blob endpoints for Azure are in a specific pattern. It is in the pattern of windows.co.net, that specific URI. But that assumption no longer holds. The URIs that Azure uses for its storage account can kind of vary. It can have some zonal zxx.azure.storage.net. The URI pattern has changed and it's not a fixed pattern anymore. So this code kind of makes it dynamic to fetch the blob endpoint on the fly and then try to use it instead of using a autogen, like kind of using a regex to form it in some way. So that is one part of the change. The second is the AAD changes that these folks had already done as part of PR 111. That was, I don't remember the name of that person, but so that approach, I also brought in a few changes. So there, what they had done was, if you do not provide the subscription or resource group, they used to default to AAD. But as per the discussion we kind of had, right, it was not making a lot of sense because firstly, we want it to be a deterministic behavior. We don't want to say that if you don't provide a specific parameter, we'll use this particular route. So basically, I introduced a new field, which is use AAD, because the subscription and RG are required to fetch the blob endpoint. We need to do a get properties call and get the blob endpoint from the storage account. So that is second. Second is the first part was we fetch the blob endpoint through using an API call. Second is for AAD, we explicitly set a flag. And the third thing is there is one customer issue where basically in this particular post up till today, we used to make a list keys call. And the list keys call had to go through the management plane of Azure and kind of ends up getting throttled a little bit. So this AD route, what it was doing so far is it's directly talking to the storage account, the underlying data plane. So now introducing this get properties call, right? Again, we will run into that throttling issue. So just to summarize, right, the third point is the user can directly provide the storage URI, the blob endpoint of the storage account, and we will directly use it. I'll summarize quickly, right? So first thing is, instead of generating a URI on the basis of a specific pattern, we try to fetch it. Second is we have an explicit flag for using AAD. And the third is the user can choose to specify the endpoint themselves. In that case, we will not make any unnecessary calls which could throttle their account. I have the chat conversation also with on Slack. Everything is discussed there. I can point you to that as well, if that helps. I'll CC you there, Shubham. If anyone else is interested, I can also ping you there.
Yeah, sure thing. And could you just update the PR description as well, just with the summary? It would be great.
It was there in the issue. I can update it here as well. I'll update if any of them. Yeah. Thank you, Shubham.
Ancho, and the last one is also yours. So.
Yeah, sorry, I got on mute by mistake. Yeah. So this is another issue which we encountered. Basically, as of today, I already talked about the linear behavior of the CSI plugin, right? We do 10 minutes per snapshot and wait for it. But the issue is that after that 10 minutes, right, we don't clean up that snapshot. So what that ends up doing is in the cluster, it creates a lot of bad snapshots which are in a bad shape. So if you do, let's say 10 backups per day and you do it for, let's say 3 days and they continuously fail, and let's say each backup had, let's say 3 snapshots, you are unnecessarily creating 90 snapshots, which are like useless, pretty useless for the user. So what that ends up doing is it throttles the CSI drivers because they have to keep because CSI driver works in an infinite way. It will have an exponential backup, but it will every 5 minutes or so it will try to take that snapshot if it's in a bad shape. So that ends up has a bad effect which leads to throttling the CSI driver. So I don't have an issue for this right now. I'll create it in the on the repo, but basically the proposal here is if a snapshot fails after 10 minutes, we clean it up instead of letting it stay in the cluster. Let me know if you folks feel otherwise, if I'm missing something here. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, Anshul, because we are going to look at the other volume snapshot cleanup issue, right? So this sounds to be in the same area. So go ahead and create the issue and we'll take a look at this as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the part that you also mentioned, Raghu, I'm aware of that code. I'll also have a look at it if anything has changed there. But yeah, this is again similar lines as well. But I want to take this particular work in conjunction with the BIA way thing because we are also concerned about the parallelism of BIA. But yeah, all those three things are in similar lines along the CSI comment. Yep.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you want to work, that is fine. But
yeah,
otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Any other thoughts, folks? If you think otherwise, is this behavior okay with you folks?
It sounds reasonable, right? I mean, if the snapshot request failed, there is no reason for the volume snapshot to be around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still the backup should be partially filled in that case as
well. Yeah, that will. Asha, let me check how we can ensure that still happens. I think.
Yep.
Good. Thanks for the input.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I think that's it all. Thank you, folks. Thank you for your comments.
All right. Anyone else? Any other topics or discussions or questions?
I just have a quick one comment about the meetings themselves. I mean, because I don't join, or at least so far I haven't been joining regularly, so I'm having really tough time finding out whether this given week is, US friendly time zone or the Beijing friendly time zone. The best solution, of course, is to have a calendar invite, right? Just like other Kubernetes SIGs have, all of them have that. But short of that, can we add, next to the date in these notes, can we add the time zone? Then at least that will immediately tell us what is the previous meeting, then we can easily figure out what's the upcoming meeting. For example, next to the April 26th or next to May 3rd, you can add, US friendly time zone or something like that.
Yeah, I think we should do that. That would be an easy thing to add to just these notes here. But there is a calendar invite on the Google group, the Velero development, the Velero project Google group. I think that currently does have a calendar invite, but it's basically every 2 weeks this time zone. And
sorry, I must have missed it. Can you point me to that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think Orland's doing that now.
Okay.
If you open this.
But even with that, I think your suggestion is a great one. I think the note should indicate it as well. I found myself looking at them, trying to remember which week was which.
Right. Yeah.
You mean on top of this one?
Yeah. So we say May 2nd, and then in parentheses, US friendly, or it might make sense to indicate in the beginning, which time zone this was. Yeah, exactly. That just makes it another place someone can look at, very quickly to say, okay, if they're not looking at the calendar, to know which week is which.
Yeah, the last week is enough. I mean, because that will give us an indication where the next one going to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Something like that.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. And about the invitations, Satya brought that, I think, on the previous one. I was expecting that you received that, but obviously that's not how Google Groups works. So we have to figure out some other more proper way to send these invites out. Not sure if I can do that on the Slack notification stuff. But I'll take that and I'll try to fix it or make it a little bit more usable. I'm sorry, for the next
Thank
week.
you. I mean, the other Kubernetes fix that works pretty well. I mean, once I join the invite, I get the reminders and I can easily join those meetings.
I was expecting to happen the same, but it's not. So if it's not, then I'll try to figure out. Right.
I think the complication here, the other 6 all have one standard time every time, right? But in this case, you have 2 different times, so you might end up having 2 invites, one for US zone and the other.
Yeah, I mean, they're separate invites. That should be fine. Basically, each invite is every 2 weeks. So they're 2 different invites. But again, there may be something else weird going on with the list and the way it's set up. I'm not sure.
I'm not even sure how I can see the calendar for this stuff over here. But I'll try to, I'll try to figure these out. So if someone has some bright ideas how we can fix that easily, shoot. If not, I'll take that. Tagger, well, I'm not sure what do you mean, but
Oh, I mean, like if you click into the email, you can like see the ICS, I think. Like the second one, for example.
Like this one?
Yeah, just double click and open it.
Yeah, but it's already there. So
you download that and you can add that to your Google Calendar.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're just saying each individual person can do that, and then that'll be on our calendar.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm saying, you don't have to re-invite everyone. You can take the ICS in there and import it.
Yeah, I think that's what I did as well. Once the invites were changed, like 6 months back.
Yeah, right. Because the invite sends the list, so you click on that in your email, and then you say add to calendar, and then your personal calendar has that invite from that point forward. But I guess the challenge is if you weren't on the list when that was sent, you might not have seen it or noticed it because it's not going to retroactively add it to your calendar because you had just as a list.
I think the best would be to move away from ICS and have like a link you can subscribe to community meetings, like a Google calendar.
Google Calendar link would be best, I guess. Yeah.
So you mean to create in the groups? Okay, I'll take this one and I'll try to figure it out until next week. Not sure how to approach that right now, but yeah.
I mean, like a link, something like this.
Can you share?
Yeah, in the chat.
Oh.
Right. So if you have something like this, you can add events to it. And then if you wanted to add this to your own calendar, you just in the bottom right, you see a plus button.
Which one?
Bottom right of the screen.
Bottom right, yeah.
But on the bottom.
Yeah, all the way to the bottom right of the whole screen, not just the text. It says Google Calendar. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah. And then you can say add.
Yeah.
And then that would add this calendar to one of your calendars on the left, which you can check, if you want to see it or not. And this will always be updatable by you, and everyone else who join after will have an updated event. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you have edit access, you can add to it. So it's not on one person, and yeah, I think it's better than ICS.
Yeah, maybe we can do that. All right.
I think ICS was used because it works cross-platform, maybe not just Google Calendar. So unsure about that.
I think it's just generated from Zoom. But
okay.
Yeah, you can make a new one by pressing plus on the other calendars on the left. You see plus lower. it says, yeah, where there's holiday, yeah, if you press plus, you can create a new calendar that you can share for others to subscribe to.
You mean like shared Google Calendar for the project itself?
Yeah, basically we're making a new list. It's like a Google group list, but this one's just for calendar events, which, yeah. I can do this with you.
No, I'm just thinking
Outlets.
which one is the right way to do it, and it will be the most convenient one for everyone.
Yeah. But yeah, you press on the plus buttons on the other calendars.
Yep.
We can do this later if you want.
Yeah, no. I know how to do that. I'm just thinking what's the best choice for everyone. All right. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyone else? Any other topics for today? Nope. All right then. Thank you very much, everyone. Hope you have a great rest of the day and talk to you in 1 week. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.